Let's take some time and go over a couple of other terms and components of the Game Lab experience. Now, before I get into this stuff, just a warning, some of it is pretty complicated and it gets a little complex. A whole bunch of new terms and concepts and so forth, so don't let it throw you for a loop. It's just that some people want to know the rules up front and the game system up front. The reality is, as you play the game, you're going to understand everything. But for people who want to know, here's how it goes. We'll start off with the concept of XP. Now, you should know by now if you've read any of the rules or the Helping Friendly book guides, or you've watched any of the introductory videos, but XP is basically the currency that's used in this game. It stands for experience points. When you complete a quest, you receive a certain number of XP. Now, you have different types of XP. In this case, you have what's called system XP, because what needs to be understood is that the truth is Game Lab is actually a learning management system. So you can actually be participating in multiple games in context of this platform, just like you would be in multiple classes in learning management systems. So the systems XP tells you how many experience points you have in all of the games that you're playing in the 3D Game Lab platform. Now, 99% of you probably never played another game in this system, so you probably only have one game in your account. But perhaps down the line you'll create your own games, or you'll participate in other games, and so you'll see that your system XP might exceed the total number of XP available in a game. The next thing to point out to you is that in context of the 3D Game Lab world, games are actually referred to as groups. So currently, the group that you are enrolled in or will be participating in is the Digital Literacies group. So think of the word group as the people that are playing the game along with you. You'll notice that at least at this point, there are a total of 2,500 XP available in this group, which means that at least right now, there are 2,500 points available for you to acquire in the Digital Literacies game. And right now, the character of Wagner Gael has acquired 41 of those. And you can see that you have a little progression bar over here. Now, directly beneath that, you'll see that there are also rankings. Now, most people think of rankings as levels, but there is a difference between a rank and a level. So currently, Wagner Gael's rank is Skeptic. And we'll take a moment and take a look at the rest of the ranks. And at this point, he has 41 XP in this particular group, and you'll notice that in order for him to rank up, he's going to need to achieve 59 XP. And that's what this progression bar is all about here. So at this point, in this case, Wagner needs to get another 18 XP for him to level up to the next rank. So again, currently he's a Skeptic, so let's see what his next rank is going to be. To find out what the rankings are, you simply click on the rank that you currently are at. And here are all the rankings in the Digital Literacies group. Now remember, group in the parlance of this system is basically the name of the particular game that you're in. So as you can see, in order to be a Skeptic, you'll need to at least 0 to 58 experience points makes you a Skeptic. But the moment you hit 59, and between 59 and 256, you rank up to Scribe, and then Idealist, and so forth and so on. Next thing you need to know about are all the different kinds of rewards. And to see those rewards, you simply click on Rewards. So in the Game Lab, there are 3 types of rewards. The first one are called badges, and in the broader sense, badges are referred to as micro-credentials or nano-certifications. And badges are simply digital images or digital icons that have baked in metadata or information embedded into the images themselves. So in this case, as you can see, there are 15 badges that can be earned in context of this game. And currently, our character Wagner Gael has earned the first badge, which is called Skeptic. And to find out a little bit more about exactly what that badge is, you simply click on it, and it's going to give you information about the badge. And here's the information about the badge. This is when it was awarded. Here's some information about exactly what it is, what its description is, and then you can see what its requirements were. And this is also where you would click in order to either export your badge to a display system like Mozilla Backpack or download your badge directly to your desktop. Now, it's important to know that you don't earn any experience points for earning badges. Badges are basically signifiers that you have completed a particular set of quests that have earned you a particular number of experience points. So here's another badge, for example, the Maestro badge. It tells you a little bit about what it is. It signifies that the district has deemed its owner knowledgeable regarding the demands and requirements of the Americans with Disabilities Act, as well as other accommodations necessary for Americans with disabilities to access digital content. And the technical requirement is for you to achieve and attain the rank of Maestro. And again, remember, you acquire ranks by bumping up experience points. Next, we have achievements. Again, this is another type of an award. Achievements are rewards that are granted automatically based on a particular set of criteria. So let's, for example, take a look at the Lightning Bolt achievement. So here's what it takes to get the Lightning Bolt achievement. You need to get the rank of Idealist in 7 days or less from the time you start playing the game. So, for example, in this case, you can see that 7 days are up, but you haven't quite attained the rank of Idealist, and so the awarded points have not been totaled into your XP. So in this case, it's a Lightning Bolt because you're a person who moves quickly. 7 days, rank up to Idealist. Here's another example. This is called the Level 3 Achievement Reward. In this case, you can see that it tells you that this is an achievement award that's granted to players who successfully complete the basic requirements of Level 2 gameplay and advance to Level 3. The key term here is basic because there are a certain number of quests that you must complete in order to complete Level 2, but there are more than just the required quests. So in this case, the required quests are the ones that are listed right underneath the achievement. Of course, you can click on any of the required quests to see the details and learn a little bit more about exactly what that quest is. Now, mind you, you might not have access to that quest yet because you haven't quite met the requirements to be able to access Level 2 gameplay. But keep in mind, achievements, these are all automatically rewarded to you based on a set of criteria. And then lastly, you have awards. And awards are things that are granted to you by the Game Master. So for example, you can see there's a +4 award. Let's take a look at what that is. Hey, look at this. It's granted by the Game Master for multiple reasons. For example, correct responses to quiz items. So if you get this award, you get an additional 4 XP. Now the last thing we're going to look at are levels. And levels are signified in your quest index, either in the available quest, the progress quest, or the completed quest. And then in this little column right over here, you can see in this case, these particular quests are categorized to level 0. And there are 13 or 14 different levels that you can access in the context of this game. Think of levels as a way to signify two things. First, a particular theme of quests or a grouping of quests, and secondly, a level of difficulty associated with the grouping of quests. So, for example, these are all level 0 quests, but if I wanted to find out what are level 1 quests, then what I would do is click on the rewards link in the navigation menu and then scroll on down to achievements and take a look at what it takes for me to acquire level 1 gameplay. So when I click on the level 1 gameplay, I can see that in order for me to be able to achieve the level 1 gameplay and access the quests that are categorized into level 1, I need to have completed these quests. And I've already completed 3 of the quests that are associated with level 1 gameplay. So this gives me some guidance regarding which quests I might want to pick and maybe which quests I might not want to pick. So for example, as I take a look at these quests here, I notice that there's one quest that wasn't listed in that achievement level, which is this video notes quest. So I could take a look at what the video notes quest is, and as you can see, it says learn about a great tool for taking notes. And I've already met the requirement to access this particular quest, and I can view the details of it, and it's worth 20 XP. But completing this particular quest isn't necessarily going to help me with leveling up into different levels of gameplay. But on the other hand, it is 20 XP, and that will help me greatly when it comes to moving on up in my group and ranking on up as well. So I have to make a decision as to whether or not I want to achieve this quest or I don't want to achieve this quest. But one thing I understand is that in order for me to access the level 1 category of quests, I don't necessarily need to have completed this quest, because as I go into my rewards again and I take a look at my level 1 achievement, I can see that the video notes quest is not listed there. All of that is to say that basically you don't have to complete every quest in this game. As a matter of fact, there are way more experience points available in the game than you actually need to win the game. Also, even though right now I only have access to level 0 type quests, eventually as I complete these quests I'll have level 1, level 2, and level 3, but they might not show up here in order. So keep in mind that the column headers allow you to sort the columns. So for example, if I clicked on XP, it will sort all of the quests based on descending order. And if I click on it again, it'll switch on over to ascending order. So you can use these headers over here to organize your quests in whatever manner you'd like to. And that's it. So I need to make sure that I go through as many quests as I possibly can. So my recommendation to you is to accept as many quests as you can, because the more quests you accomplish, the more likely it is that you will unlock the next level of gameplay and you'll rank up. Now, 2 final things. First of all, some quests within this game will actually unlock other quests that are within the same level. So there will be several instances wherein you will be in a particular level of gameplay, but you won't see all of the quests that are available in that level of gameplay, because there are certain quests that you haven't yet completed. And so we're not even giving you access to those quests until you complete another quest that is germane or directly connected to the quests that are being hidden. And secondly, as I said in the beginning, knowing the system is a good idea, but it's really not necessary. I know it's kind of complex, and don't feel like you need to understand all of the things that we were covering in this video. Just play, have fun, accept quests, complete the quests, and learn.